Welcome to Cohesive Home Podcast Episode 10. In today's episode, we're chatting about disconnecting from the internet and social media, tips for traveling lightly with your family, and we'll also share what we'll be up to this summer as we take our summer vacation from Cohesive Home.
Cohesive Home is a podcast for families seeking a more intentional life. Looking for inspiration to create your ideal family culture and home? Kate and Melissa, two best friends and laid-back minimalists from opposite ends of the country, chat about all things parenthood, living simply, and crafting a happier home. So, summer is definitely a time for travel, and Kate and I are planning a few trips with our families. And since we've both gone minimalist, we've figured out a few tricks for simplifying our packing and making travel with kids a little easier. So, Kate, what are your plans for the summer?
So, we actually just got back from a trip to northern Michigan a few days ago, and we have about 2 weeks until we leave on our next trip, which is a massive cross-country road trip to California.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so we'll be traveling in our casita camper and visiting Yosemite. We'll be staying at my husband's family's cabin near Sequoia National Park for a few days, and then heading south, hopefully visiting the Grand Canyon, and then heading back. So about 15 days altogether.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge road trip.
It is a huge road trip, and I honestly, I'm a little bit nervous about it. And so I'm trying to think of how I can prepare for 15 days on the road with two little kids with not a lot of space. So we can't take very many clothes because we don't have a ton of storage in the casita. We're obviously not taking a bunch of toys, and so the kids will have to figure out ways to entertain themselves on the road. And so it's definitely going to be a great challenge.
But the great thing about it is that it's not just the camper. It's like you're going to see all of these amazing things. And you and Kirk are so good about really exploring and going out and taking advantage of your surroundings. And so I feel like you might be a little scared about it, but I think it's going to end up being really, really cool and fun because you won't really be in the casita long, unless it just starts pouring down rain one day. But even then, it'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. And something that we experimented with on this trip that we took last week was to give the girls each a small bin that fits under a bench in the casita, and I had them put whatever they wanted in it, which, is not always practical. Yeah. But they picked their favorite books and their toys, and they were surprisingly content with that. And I think it's because they were in control of their possessions.
That was kind of like their domain. It's their little box, and it's theirs to determine. And so, it's almost like they had to stay happy with these items because they picked it.
Yes.
And I will not give in to being sad about these items that I picked.
Because you chose them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's it. Like I said, it's going to be a good challenge, but we are so excited to see what comes out of this trip.
Yeah, I'm super jealous. You got to take a picture with one of those huge trees.
A sequoia.
Instagram it. Yes. Oh. Oh, that's what they're called. Right. A sequoia. That
National Park.
Wow.
Moment. Okay. There will definitely be some tree photos for Melissa, so you all can check my Instagram. But Melissa, you have some travel plans as well. So do you want to fill us in on what those are?
Yeah, to take
as if I don't know.
Yeah, as if I haven't told you already. Yes, so we're coming to see you. I'm so excited about it.
Yes, we are too.
Actually, we we started last year when our oldest, she turned 7. And so for her 7th birthday, since we were in Europe, her name is Holland. So we took her to Holland.
Luckiest kid ever.
Ever, right? I mean, you cannot top that. I mean, you just really can't.
No, you can't.
So this year we're trying. Berkeley will be turning 7. And so we decided to take her on a birthday trip as well. And since Berkeley, California doesn't seem very fun, I mean, I guess it could
maybe
be.
Not for kids.
Not for kids. We decided to go and see you guys because it's kind of a cheaper trip since we're staying with you. And then there's the water, which technically, what do you guys call it? The third coast?
The third coast, yeah, Lake Michigan.
Yeah. So we're really excited. So that's kind of our trip. We'll be going the beginning of August. We're also doing one little side trip with our really good friends, the Young family. We are going to go to Romanos National Park here in Oklahoma, and they have these teepees.
Oh,
and so
awesome.
You can actually, for $25 a night, you can rent a teepee. And so we've both rented one, and we're just going to do one night because I don't know how
it'll go.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm really not a big camper. Does that make sense? Like, I think I would be better in a casita.
Right.
Like actually in a camping apparatus. But in a tent, I have not really done a lot of that. And so I'm slightly scared.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to be honest, I'm still a little bit jealous because I have this strange obsession with yurts. I tried for a very brief period to convince Kirk that we should live in a yurt. And
I love that name.
Yurt. And I think he was a little confused. And so a teepee should be interesting. It's similar.
It is very similar. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited, but mostly excited about the trip to come see you guys, just because it's a family road trip, just like you guys are doing. It's 12 hours, I think, drive. You would know better than me, but we're going to stay the night in St. Louis, so we'll see some friends there. And yeah, so lots of books on tape, or I guess you just call them audiobooks now, since they're not on tape.
You're dating yourself.
A little bit. But yeah, you know what? I would love to know if any of our listeners have any good ideas for travel with kids, like long distance travel in cars. I really haven't done a lot of that yet. The traveling that we have done has been either short, or we've been on a train, or something, you can move about. So
yeah, that's a great.
If anyone has any ideas, please share them on Instagram with us, the post for our podcast, or anywhere on Instagram, really. That way we can know.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think that's a great idea. So for those of you listening, we hope that you are also planning some awesome summer travel, or at least a staycation, taking some time to be with your family and spend some time outdoors, maybe walk away from the phones and all the technology for a little while, and simply just reset and relax.
Definitely. Well, so kind of along those lines, Kate, do you have any other smaller plans that you haven't really told me about? Because I know about your your larger family trips, but do you have any short-term goals or anything that you're wanting to do during the summertime?
You know what? I am really hopeful that we can simply relax a smidge once we get back from our big road trip. It'll be a little while till we can do that, since we're going to be moving into our house. Yeah, I'm so excited. But you know what? I'm really hoping that August, it's just sad that I'm talking about August right now, but I'm really hopeful that August will be a time for us just to relax and do our picnics at the beach and go to the farmer's market and maybe take a nap. I really want a hammock. I think that's on my wish list. Idea. Yeah, I don't think I think so often we focus on the big events, the big experiences. Like, oh, we're going to Yosemite, which is totally on my bucket list. But what's also on my bucket list is reading a book and having a cold drink in a hammock.
Yeah. Copious amounts of wine.
Right?
that just sounds great to me, actually.
Yeah.
Well, so one thing I'm actually going to be doing while we're on our break, I am going to be starting a vlog.
Oh, that's right.
Just put that out there. I just put it out there, Kate. I just did it. I put it out there.
I am so proud of you, Melissa.
Thanks. Yeah. So since I did put it out there, I guess I'll explain. Here at Cohesive Home, we actually get a lot of questions randomly throughout Instagram or submitted through our website.
Which we love.
We love that. We absolutely love it. However, we find it difficult to answer all of them in the proper way. Sometimes we can answer them through a podcast. Sometimes we can just chat about it a little bit on Instagram. But with Instagram, things get lost within the feed. And so one way to allow our answers to have long-term effects or long-term reach, we decided to start a vlog. So basically, I'm just going to stand in front of a camera and answer questions, and hopefully it won't be too boring. So that's kind of what I've been doing a lot of research on. There is a lot of information out there about starting vlogs, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube is like a time suck for me. I'm like, oh, wow, it's 5:00 already. I've been watching YouTube videos for like 3 hours. But there's a lot of learning. And so that's kind of what I'll be putting any like extra time I have kind of towards that. So.
And I am so excited to see your vlog series. I think it's going to be amazing.
I know. Well, it's a lot of pressure because it's, editing and video, like that's what I went to school for.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like,
but
I have to do it okay.
No, you will be great. And for those of you listening, and especially those of you who have blogged and have a website or make YouTube videos or anything like that that's on the internet, you know what a learning curve there is. And so everything we've done with Cohesive Home has simply been out of our own initiative. We really haven't had help from anyone else. And so I'm very excited for your vlog, Melissa.
Thanks. YouTube has been a huge
lifesaver.
Because, you literally, as most of you probably know, if you have a question, you just go and Google it. And 9 times out of 10, there's a YouTube video about it. But.
Well, the good thing is that since we're going to be taking our break from Cohesive Home, you'll have some time to work on it. So let's talk a little bit about what that means, the break that we're going to be taking.
So, the break is going to be from June 27th through July 10th. And we're going to be breaking from all podcasting, from the website, and also from Instagram, which that is a big one. We just, as all of you know, we need time to relax and to focus on other things such as our family, any other tasks that we have that may get pushed to the side. I don't know, like cleaning my house. So I might do a spring cleaning in the summertime. And it's just a time for us to kind of reset ourselves.
Well, and something that has been important to Melissa and I from the beginning is to remember why we started Cohesive Home and also what we value within Cohesive Home. And that is keeping things simple and minimal. Mm-hmm. And so our families are very important to us. And so we're going to take this time to relax, to do our travel, and to simply spend time with our families. And we want to encourage you to do the same. Maybe take a social media fast, take a break from the internet, and just let all of that noise fade away.
Right, because, it's healthy to disconnect. Mm-hmm. And also, it will still be there when you get back.
Exactly.
Like, Instagram will not go away.
Well, and I've noticed some of my favorite people on, Instagram and on the internet, like my girl Katie Bowman. I absolutely love.
You just love
I,
her. You love
I,
her.
I do. I just can't help it.
It's okay.
But,
I understand.
she takes a summer break. Tish Oxenreider.
Yeah.
And I think Melissa and Dallas Hartwig, who do the Whole 30.
The Whole 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're taking a break as well. And so I think
Cool.
it's just a wise movement that I am really happy to see on Instagram and on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because you don't want to be, burned out. Like, you want to think about the long term. So,
and we want to also emphasize that we love Cohesive Home. We love all of you, and we love this community. And so we're not going anywhere. We're in this for the long haul, but we want to make sure that we don't burn out, and we can continue to record this podcast and offer our best. So, like Melissa said, we will be off of social media and the website and podcasting June 27th through July 10th, and then we'll have some fresh new content, including Melissa's vlog, after July 10th, and we can't wait to share it all with you. So something that we mentioned earlier in the podcast is trying to travel lightly with your family. And so Melissa and I have a few ideas, a few quick tips we want to share for you as you plan your summer vacations.
First, pack what you think you'll need and then cut it in half. That is kind of drastic, but it is true.
Yes.
Because usually you'll say, oh, I love this sweater, so I'm going to pack this sweater, say it's cold. And then, okay, let's not say it's cold because we are packing for summer right now. So I really love this tank top, and I love this tank top, and I love these 4 other tank tops, and I think I'll wear all of them. But 4, 5, that's 6. Okay, just making sure how many tank tops I said.
Melissa loves tank tops.
I do. I have a plethora of tank tops, I will admit. So you have 6 tank tops. Cut that in half. Pack 3.
Yes.
Because honestly, you're going to be able to rewear them.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
And if you're like most people when you travel, you don't wear half the things that you pack.
That's
right?
True. That is so true.
Okay, so let's just from the get-go cut that number in half. And then also, we want to encourage you to choose clothes and shoes and outerwear that can be worn in multiple situations. So when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling with kids and you've already got so much gear, right? Your car is stuffed to the gills or your suitcase. Keep the shoes limited, right?
Yes.
And so depending on the length of your trip, you should probably plan to do laundry if you can. And if you can't, you should wear your outfits more than once. We promise no one's going to notice.
Exactly. Well, and that's what I love about, Airbnb.
Yes.
Or any of the HomeAway or any of those, is because you get to have a home or an apartment or something like that. And it more than likely is going to have a washing machine and a dryer or something to hang your clothes on,
right,
to dry them.
So as you're packing, it may be tempting to take your whole beauty routine with you if you're into that sort of thing, because that's what you do every day. But again, we want to encourage you to simplify your makeup, your hair products, and what you do, and keep it as natural as possible so that you're not carting all that gear around with you and taking up precious space.
Especially if everybody has to carry all their stuff on their own back.
Yes, best tip ever.
So, yeah, because now it really does depend on where you're going. Where you're going and how you're getting there is going to heavily dictate how much you can take and what you take.
Right.
However, if you are carrying all of the stuff on your back, you're not going to want to have a a hair straightener or
why not?
Like everything that you put on your face in a
2
day.
pairs of underwear, a hair straightener, and an outfit. Right? That's all I need.
It's the important things in life.
Okay, well, those were awesome tips, but I think it's time for us to wrap up this podcast. So, bottom line today, friends, be intentional with your family time this summer and take a break from the internet and social media if that feels right to you. We have one more podcast coming out before our break. Remember, and our break is from June 27th to July 10th, and then we'll see you on the flip side.
We would absolutely love it if you would leave us a review on iTunes and recommend our podcast to a friend. Word of mouth is like the best.
The best.
And we are so grateful for it. I mean, I don't know about podcasts really unless somebody tells me about them. So please tell your friends, family, coworkers about Cohesive Home if you think that they would like it. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to us today. We'll see you next time.